Hello and welcome to the Cow Corner Dugout. India through to the semi-finals of the T20 World Cup, and they did it with composure in a virtual knockout, chasing under pressure. It was Sanju Samson's unbeaten 97 that defined the night. No chaos, no panic, just control. West Indies threw power. India answered with poise, and semi-final secured. A statement made. I'm going to welcome our fellow panelists today. Hello, everyone. In the sun, you need to turn your phone the other way around, I think. That way is good.
Yep.
All right. Hi. Hi, everybody, and welcome to celebrate a night in which India is winning, I guess.
Yes, and it's been an amazing time trying to watch this match, trying to watch this knock. 97 or 50 balls. It's an amazing knock, and I'm so happy for Sanju Samson, because he was not even sure of a spot in the playing 11 in the World Cup, and to suddenly come and see Sanju Samson, deliver well. I think it's been amazing.
Yeah, he's been batting like a man who's been reading our comments in our WhatsApp group, for the last 2 months. And he actually turned around and said, "Nope, long rope army, nope. You're not getting the vintage Sanju chaos. Today you're getting Sanju 2.0 with a software update and all the bugs fixed." Tarutra, your comments on today's game?
Tarutra, I think your
mic's muted. Yeah, I think.
Your mic's muted, Tarutra.
My bad. Sorry. Yes. No, I was saying I had the same thoughts as you guys. All of the many cricket groups that I'm in, sitting talking about, wow, this is an amazing innings, and oh, he's just going, and everyone else is getting out. And I was reminded of that Brook innings against New Zealand a couple of days ago. Very similar situation. He's just having fun, scoring at 200 strike rate. Everyone else is getting out. And I don't know how to analyze this one. It's just good. It was just all round against every type of bowling, every situation. He was just good. He played the right shot at the right time. He was aggressive at the right time. Dubey refused to let him have a century. But apart from that, it was a great night.
Yeah, well, 97 not out isn't bad. 3 short of a century, but miles ahead in maturity today. I think it was a very, very mature, chanceless innings. Sanju auditioning for our test spot.
I think also I'm waiting for the journalist who asks him, so what do you think of Sanju Samson's 97? Do you think his teammates should have given him a chance for 100?
But that won't happen. People know who Sanju Samson is. So Robin Desai says, congratulations, guys. Sanju showed character. Let me just put his comment here. He says that Sanju showed character, but team looks far from convincing. Do you guys agree with that? Because we saw a lot of catches being dropped. It looked like they weren't completely turned on mentally, for the game. Like run out opportunities missed. Do you think we just survived scratchily? What was the thought?
I have some thoughts, but Tarutra, go first.
So I think the bit that really struck me was the middle overs bowling. When we India picked up the wicket of Shai Hope, right? I think it was the 8th or 9th over. And it looked like, okay, cool. We're back in the game. West Indies have had a decent base to start with, and they like hitting the ball. But we're back in the game now. And then we bowled Hardik, Varun, and Hardik again. Or maybe Hardik, Varun, and then Bumrah, who finally got Hetmyer. And I think everyone, including the comms, was talking about, hey, Bumrah is not playing in the power play because we're saving him for Hetmyer. It's a good matchup. And then we didn't play him, and Hetmyer got 20-odd runs. Or those 2 overs went for 20-odd runs before Bumrah came in and finally got his wicket. And then it led to this mini the West Indies collapse of 4 overs where they only got like 26 runs and lost 3 wickets. And I think that little period is where West Indies messed up, where we were doing some funny stuff with our bowling strategy, where we were just trying to get overs done. So I think Dubey and Tilak didn't have to bowl anything. And West Indies didn't hit us. And I think that's where they lost the game. But I agree that 20 more runs, and this is a very interesting game.
Powell apparently halfway through the game did say they felt they were 15 runs short and they should have been 15 runs more. And I think that might have been the difference. But to your question, Karthik, Yes, it wasn't a convincing performance in the truest sense as we'd like it to be. But I think they adopted that. Um, they took Siraj's line and that pressure. What pressure? Took it a bit
What?
seriously, because this wasn't. They didn't. It never felt like anybody was in pressure, under pressure throughout the match. In fact, I watching the match intently for the dugout reactions, things like that, and it was only in the 19th, 20th over, when the first six was hit of the first ball, that's when you saw some emotion coming on to the players in the dugout in the dressing room. Till then, it wasn't. It felt a very, clinical is an overused word, but I think today it fits like a glove. It's I think it was a bit of a clinical chase in that sense. Um, I mean, it's like process driven project management. Like you've got targets every over, this much needs to happen. And I mean, I in fact in our group I made a comment that it's going to be 9 and over till the 12th over, and then it's going to be 10 and
Yeah.
over from there, and which is what effectively they did. I think it was just very mathematically, clinically conducted chase. Um, Based on what they got, right? I mean, at some stages it looked like 220 was on. At some stages it looked like 160 might be a big total for West Indies. So I think finally they landed at 195 and said, okay, this is 9.5 and over. All we need to do is go at nines for most of the innings, and we'll be fine. Because usually, from the point I'm trying to accentuate is, usually if it's Sanju Samson, you get a lot of fireworks up front. Today you didn't get the fireworks. You got like a fire control, right? It was a very kind of a steady anchor innings, if at all, if that's the right word to use at this point.
No, I don't think there's any doubt in the batting part. I think the question was largely only in the fielding. I think when we were batting, we were always ahead. We were always, comfortable, if not ahead. You never doubted that India would mess up the chase. Yes, there were times where, like for example, somebody like Ishan Kishan looked so beautiful, and then suddenly gets out, or someone like Surya Kumar Yadav, where you are on an ascent and then you suddenly get out. But outside of that, I don't think I had a doubt with the way India was batting. It's a chase. We generally do well, especially when there is dew and you're chasing a fairly reasonable target. But it is probably only with the fielding, and even West Indies had a similar, outing in the field where they
One
weren't
catch,
able
no?
to catch a lot of balls.
Just one catch.
They
Wasn't it?
I
It
think
just
the
the Hardik
misfielding,
catch.
there was a boundary that came, like 4 boundaries in an over, and I think that
Yeah, there's some loose fielding here and there. Yeah,
Well, I think
I think our drop catches were much worse, but yeah, I think West Indies also. I know we're going to move on from West Indies because now they're out, and we should move on from them. But some of their decision making against tonight and against SA just doesn't make much sense to me. The way they've chosen their bowlers, the matchups they went for. At one point, I mean, during the power play, it almost felt like they were feeding Sanju Samson. They were like, "Oh, here, you like this? Here, why don't you try hitting it here? Why don't you try hitting it there?" It just was a very strange, insipid kind of performance, which I think, to be fair, maybe goes to your point of India was so clinical that it made West Indies look insipid. But it was a very
yeah,
strange performance for what is essentially an eliminator.
the thing is, West Indies is hampered by the fact that by having guys like Romario Shepherd and Roston Chase and those kind of guys in the 11, means they've got what in Hindi is called gadda overs, right? Overs which are waiting to be hit. So I think that's what is seems to be the issue, right? Because they don't have guys to fill up 20 overs. They have a lot of weak overs, right? Today with Varun going for plenty, we had eight weak overs, right? I put on paper, right? Because you expect the other bowlers to chip in. Bumrah gets his four, which are gold mine, and
Yeah.
So uh, I think West Indies' problem is the bowling, not the batting.
Though, I
And
mean, if you
coming,
really break it down that by that perspective, I think the difference is basically Bumrah, right? Which
yeah,
is we had this one exceptional guy who took 3 wickets, I think it was today, and just didn't go for runs. The
maybe the
first two,
last
three
over.
overs, last over a little
no,
bit, but
Bumrah went for
still able to
9 and
win the
over.
last over.
He went for
But
he
that's
went at
because of the
9 and
last over.
last over, right?
Last over was 14-15, yeah. But I'm saying those two, like the power play over, the middle overs over, both of them you got wickets. You disrupted their momentum, and it was, and they were only, like you said, 15, 20 runs short, which is basically the difference between Bumrah and any other good bowler.
And I think yes, West Indies have been slightly weak on that, while their bowlers have done well, in the power play, or that's the only time where they kept India quiet. But after that, I think none of their bowlers were really able to hold pressure. It looked like the wickets were largely given by India, as opposed to West Indies coming and pricing out wickets. But that's also the same reason why they lost out even in the previous game versus South Africa, where with someone like Roston Chase, who's not like a traditional high quality off spinner, part time. You also can't call him part time, but with that quality of
Yeah,
bowling,
well,
you're
he
not
is.
going to.
I mean, in this standard of cricket, I definitely call him a part-time bowler as much as I would call Romario Shepherd a part-time bowler, because they are not going to make life difficult for any batter, right? So
Yeah, you don't
now
want
it's up
four
to them
overs with that.
if you want to lose the wicket or not, right? That's what it comes down to.
Right, and as much as we've been debating here, we have Indusan who's joining us from Sri Lanka, and Indusan, how's it been trying to watch this? Did you go for the game yesterday?
No, no, no. I didn't go. The last game I went was New Zealand versus England. This is in Kandy,
England,
and I didn't bother to go. Never expected them to play this good.
right? So, how's the feeling watching this West Indies India game from Colombo? The World Cup
Uh,
is over there now. The World Cup moves to this part of the world. So, but how's it? How? What are your reactions watching this game?
it's a very neutral point of view, but like I have my affinity towards Indian team because Sky, Bumrah, and Tilak all play for Mumbai Indians. So I just really wanted them to do good as well. And when West Indies were like going and India was dropping catches, I was like, this is a very non-Indian way of playing. I don't know what's going on there. And then when it come to 190, I know that India will chase because there will be due, and all these guys are really experienced in chasing big numbers thanks to their IPL experience, and they mostly know all these West Indies bowling as well because they were playing against each other. I think out of the 11, 8, 9 will be playing in IPL, the West Indies lineup. So it's not a big surprise for me to do that India chasing, and but I enjoyed Sanju Samson batting as much as you all wanted him to do well. Everybody wanted him to do well. So he is actually one darling cricketer from India that everybody adores for a long period. So finally, he's coming good. Yeah, it's nice. And India going to the semi-final. That's really good because I'm very happy because I told in the long rope army group also, guys, believe, 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 because that's the only thing that I know. Because I am coming from the jersey I'm wearing, lost 4 World Cup in a row. The team I'm supporting, around New Zealand, lost another 3 World Cups in a row, including one umpiring error and boundary count and whatnot. Everything came into play. But still, if I can believe, obviously anybody can believe. That's my theory on that. So obviously, it's nice to see India coming to the semi-final, and thankfully, it's not in New Zealand who is facing them. That's another happy news. Let it be England's headache. Let it be England's problem. Let England handle that. And if we survive South Africa, let's meet them in the final. I would rather meet India in the final than the semi-final, to be honest, because India in Mumbai is a beast. Because certain grounds they play really well, and you don't want to go home in semi-final. At least you wanted to go for that final and give the final push. But given said all these things, South Africa is not an easy opponent. But let it take it as it comes.
Right. So
Getting
our
a
next
bit
game.
ahead of ourselves, I think I also want to go look back at yesterday's game, because I think apart from that double super over game, I think yesterday's game was, for at least a neutral fan, was the most exciting game of the tournament. I mean, it was a big statement for Sri Lanka to at some point in the game decide that we're going to give it a go. And from that point, it was just mesmerizing, and how the belief came in with led by the
Because
captain?
it's Sri Lanka team came to that game really in a very bad shape. I don't know how many of you know that. After the debacle performance against New Zealand, and I was in the stadium. I was watching everything happening. When Dasun Shanaka came to batting and when he was actually attending the press conference, whoever the fans who left in the stadium were booing. So then he made the problem worse by addressing it as growing negativity. And even if you are connected with me on social media, I have ranted about it. And that's a very immature way of handling things, in my point of view, because uh, fans ask you not to win games, but to play competitive and give a good fight. So with all these things, and literally he had to turn off comments to the post. He apologized to the fans because people were just when they were running rampage on his post. And so Sri Lanka had a lot of points to prove. And especially what was really disappointing for me sitting back here is many of the people from both sides, India and Pakistan, I'm not making this as an accusation, but Pakistani journalists said, like, go ahead, guys, lose it. You will get money and all. This is open fixing, to be honest, for me. And then certain journalists from India said Sri Lanka is throwing the game away. I would say, like, they have clearly not seen Sri Lanka team playing under pressure. That's the typical way Sri Lanka team play under pressure, where they are all over the place. Bowling was like nowhere close by. So then Sri Lanka to come back and first knocking Pakistan out, yeah, very relief because New Zealand goes to semi-final. I support them as well. So then that's okay. The first thing was then coming from a nowhere position to come to a striking distance with Dasum Shanaka, the clean hit, because this clean hit is something Sri Lankan team was missing big time for years. And then somebody to come and do it at the right time and against taking on these ballers, especially Usman Tariq and all. I was like, oh my God, he was so debated, and Dasun Shanak is hitting him for fun. And that's really, really awesome for someone to watch it, to be honest. I'm so happy that it happened. And I still believe that was a wide umpire didn't give. We
Yes.
still
Ah,
believe,
right.
right?
What an anticlimax! What an
And
anticlimax!
yeah,
But
yeah. It was almost
obviously,
like that super over we played against India in the Asia Cup, because it's again like,
yeah.
there are tiny moments you should have won the match, but they didn't win it. It's okay.
No,
But
but I think
So
it's
28
also
my
of
need to
6.
question is,
add to it.
sorry, go
Yeah.
back.
Sorry, but 28 of 6 to then get it to 6 of 2. I mean, initially Pakistan was just thinking, ki, what is the margin of victory we're going to win this by when they made 212? And then to suddenly get to the point where shit hits real, that you could actually lose this game. I thought that whole emotion here in the group, people were like, damn, what happens if Pakistan loses this game? And I think
It-
this is a remarkable comeback from Sri Lanka. Thanks that you guys got
yeah.
to
So
120 first.
they do these kind of things once in a while, right? So the problem is
Yeah,
the
I
consistency is
remember
missing.
Daswan Shanuka in Dharamshala.
Austra-
Oh
It's
yeah,
a
he did.
it's a pain point.
So can I tell you
Hmm?
something? He played a blinder of innings against Australia in
Australia.
2022, right?
Yeah.
2022. And he played a very good innings against India in 2023. And after that, 4 and 5 quiet years. And this year he came and he played 2026. So he played once in a year or once in 2 years, these kind of good innings. And that, it's like this, because the position that he is coming, yeah, I would rather like him to have a higher strike rate than average, but still consistency matters. He should win matches more often. So that's
It was
where
a
I think Sri
it,
Lanka,
it,
we have
it
this
was a
love-hate relationship.
it was a captain's knock if
No, but
there
I
ever
think
was, and
in
it's
a yeah.
nice to
No, I just
have.
wanted to add to that.
No, good
Yeah.
good things happen to good guys. I really feel Daswan is a good guy, and it's nice that sometimes you need to
He's
have
a
good things happen to.
nice bloke, to be honest. I have
Yes,
interacted with him couple of
and
times
I
when
spent
I
some
was
time with him.
covering LPL. Yeah,
I
we're
spent some time
covering
with him.
LPL. Yeah, yeah, very, very, very down
Exaggerating.
to earth and very nice person. But you want them to win matches also. That will be like too good to have. And he's a very nice person to begin with. And he is actually one captain who won a multi-nation tournament I think post 2014-15 for Sri Lanka. So it's that Asia Cup was like a remarkable achievement, and it guided Sri Lanka through many qualifiers in a very disciplined manner. That Sri Lanka went to that second round, and I think 2022 also Sri Lanka went to the Super 8. 2021 also they went to the second round. So there are things under him, yeah, happen, but there is no tangible stuff as that. That's what it is. That's in a nutshell what Sri Lanka cricket is all about.
Yeah.
Right.
So are you at all optimistic about the fact that you guys managed to score so much with Nisanka basically getting out early and Mendes not even being in the team? Is that or is that just
No,
one lucky
no,
match?
no, no,
Not at all.
no, no. I don't want to. I don't want to tell you this. When Nisaka got out, I said like, okay, finish. It's even New Zealand is now going home. And then there was some glimpse of Asalanka showed some intent, Mishara showed some intent, but I know that someone need to carry that innings throughout. Then Pawan Ratnayaka came from nowhere and he played a blinder of an innings. And then I thought like, okay, Sri Lanka will still lose it. There is a chance for New Zealand to win it. So let me wait and watch this match. And then that 140 mark came, and then Dasun Shanaka came, and there was carnage from beyond that point. At any point, I believed that Sri Lanka will win.
So let's look at the future of Sri Lankan cricket. I mean, the next few years, how do you think it might transpire? Because I mean, at least in white ball cricket, Dasun is a fairly young captain, and there is a core of under 27 years old players, right? All these guys coming
Yeah,
through.
yeah.
I think yesterday's bowling attack was also impressive to a large extent. Velalage bowled well, despite the, I'm saying, 212 aside. I really thought Madhushanka had a really great game because 2 overs in the power play, 2 overs in the death, and going for less than 35 or whatever that was. It's incredible. I mean, and he showed the skills which are required on flat wickets. And I think
Hmm.
he has great length control. He has a fairly deceptive slow one, and a left armer is always useful, right? So I think. But what else is there in the pipeline? Because we don't get to see Sri Lankan domestic cricket at all.
So there are a few cricketers who are promising. One called as Vishan Halambage. He got picked up for Rajasthan Royals this IPL for a base price. He will be coming there, and he played for Paul Royals as well. He's part of the Royals family setup. So he's very exciting player coming through. And there are a few other youngsters who are. There's another promising all-rounder came, Chamindu Vikramasinghe, I think. So there are a few players in pipeline, and I believe Sri Lanka cricket is going through a kind of a crisis because the performance have made fans very angry, and there was a protest happened today opposite of Sri Lanka cricket. So now people understand the management also has blood in their hands, so they need to go. So that's one thing. Whether they will go or not, I'm not really sure about it. But the coaching staff is going through an overhaul. Sanat Jayasuriya already resigned, and Sri Lanka cricket CEO told that they are in talks with few foreign coaches. They are very particular about bringing foreign coaches back. And I think there is a fair chance selection committee also might be changed, or they might go ahead with Pramod Vikramasinghe as well. I'm not really sure about it because these things you can't predict with Sri Lanka cricket because that's how things are being. So if they keep on trusting this bunch of cricketers and they go forward, Sri Lanka has a future. But there is another big question. So many match winners are very bad in fitness. Vanindu Hasaranga just one match, he just out of the World Cup. So Ishan Malinga, that was a very unfortunate injury. He just fell down just in the England tour. So these young players also need to understand they are the future. That means they need to keep their fitness or everything ready for their game. So it should be both ways. I hope that both happens. That means now we have very experienced group of players. Dasun Shanaka's future, I'm not really sure about it because Sri Lanka cricket always finds scapegoats, which are the captains. So they might sack him and bring back Asalanka back or bring somebody else back. We never know all these things. So these are like very, very unpredictable in terms of Sri Lanka cricket. But if they are willing to trust this bunch and back them and go forward, and that bunch also understand that they have at least another 6 to 7 years of cricket left in them, and they need to be fit enough to play that 6 to 7 years of cricket properly. Then I think Sri Lanka cricket will be in a good stage. But there is, whenever we speak about Sri Lanka cricket, we just put one word called if. That if is a big thing here. So we never know how things are going to change in the next months or weeks or something like that. And we have to only wait and watch. One thing we can be optimistic about things will be good, but I don't know whether things will be good or not.
Okay, moving on beyond what's happened in the past and hoping Sri Lanka can become a good, good competitive team at the top level. We'd like to see them in the knockout stages of tournaments going forward.
Even we want to see them like that, but only thing is it's not happening. That's the problem. The fans are like really upset about this time, and that's why he apologized yesterday after the presentation. I think the message was well taken that people are not criticizing you for fun because they also like had a lot of hope on them, and especially coming to this World Cup. And before the World Cup, they had a very bad series. So there's so much things going on. They never arrived in the World Cup with a clear mind. It was a roller coaster ride for them the past few months, and they went to Pakistan, and then Pakistan to a captain was they told he was taken away, but everybody knows it was sacked because he spoke on behalf of the players against the management. They want to come back. So there are a lot of things going on. There's a lot of circus going around them. So as I told you, I wish things will be good, but it is Sri Lanka cricket at the end of the day.
All right, moving back to the T20 World Cup, Karthik.
Yes, the semi-finals. We're now on to the semi-finals, and Thursday we're going to have the India-New Zealand game, and I think Wednesday is where we have the England-South Africa game in Kolkata. I'm sensing a sense of deja vu here to the 2023 World Cup, where India and New Zealand squared off at Wankhede, and South Africa went to Eden Gardens, and then they lost. And then, so is it going to be an India-England final? Is probably what I'm thinking, or is it going to be a New Zealand-England final, repeat of the 2019 World Cup? So that's probably what some questions are. What I'm thinking about, but I.
So the good thing is that now, at least for once, for the first time in this tournament, we know which match is happening where, right?
Yes.
Which has been a very privilege. There's no more net rate calculations. There's no more permutations, combinations. Where should we book our tickets for? When is which match ticket going on sale? So all these are good things. So now it's it's on the given day who wins the toss and who will make it through based on winning the toss. So I think both these upcoming games are toss based games personally.
Yeah, it gets to that. But in a ground like Wankhede, I think if you're also able to score a little more than par, we have the kind of bowling. Like, for example, Arshdeep's 19th over, very underrated today, just gave 5 runs when these guys were, trying to actually. And all of those was wide outside off stump. He saw that Jason Holder, right, is not able to actually reach the ball. There's no footwork. He bowled each one of those 5 balls wide outside off stump. That's some level of daredevilry to actually bowl that, and it, doesn't get talked about much. So I think we have the kind of death bowling required, even if we are, even if we are defending a total. So looking forward to, yes, the last 24 hours have been the most stressful because I was not sure about planning my travel. Only at 3 p.m. today, I decided to take a punt saying I think India will win. So I booked my travel to Mumbai, then from Ahmedabad back to Bangalore. So now that this part is sorted off, at least thanks Pakistan didn't make it and didn't make it to the net run rate. Yes, this part is sorted that, okay, I know which games I'm going to next.
Right. So I think let's go get back to today's game because we discussed the chase and the clinical nature of it, and the fact that in a knockout vibes game, India was very efficient. Um, our problem seems to be our fielding and bowling, right? So let's get back there. What do we do? Selection wise, Wankhede is smaller ground than Kolkata. I think, if I'm not wrong, I think the cow corner boundaries are smaller. So what happens? Does India look at bringing in a Kuldeep? Does India bring in a Siraj as a bowling option? Karthik, Tarata?
I think
I mean, I'm
against
just
New
wondering
Zealand, yeah. No, against New
why
Zealand, I
would you
think
need
we're
that
okay.
pace?
Yeah.
Mhm.
New Zealand and Wankhede, like in the sort of saying, at Wankhede in World Cups were just very good. It's hard to beat us. We've got the momentum. The Our bowlers are largely good. We've got death overs, we've got power play, we've got enough middle overs.
No, one second. India's
I
not
think
playing New Zealand. India's playing England.
Sorry, England, sorry, against
Yeah.
England.
Wait
But
a
I'm saying even
second.
against England,
Are
same
we?
thing.
Yeah.
I thought New Zealand. Oh, India
No,
playing
this
West
is not
Africa.
preceding. This is not
We
preceding
finished
anymore.
second.
This is
Yeah,
not
India finished
preceding
second.
anymore. The winners of each group do not stay in the same half.
Yeah. So we're playing.
Oh,
It is
my
one
bad.
versus
My
one.
bad. I was. Yes, I've just been messed up in my head.
I thought
For
at that
some
time I
reason-
heard it wrong, but when Tarutra
Yeah.
said it, I said, okay, maybe I am.
No. Yeah,
looking
we
at,
both messed up. You're completely right.
okay.
It should be India, England.
Well
But
done. So,
no, but the point stands even then. I think we've got the bowling for the English attack. Wankhede, we should be fine. We've got the batting to take down their bowling, more importantly. So I don't think
their bowling is just about West Indies level. I don't think they've got. I mean, honestly,
I mean, they've got one Jofra, which is a little better, but yeah. And Adil Rashid, to be fair, has been getting ridiculous levels of turn everywhere.
Yeah,
And
it's like an
they've had
England
their
home
Wankhede
game.
burst.
England's
Yeah,
home
they've
game at
played at
Wankhede.
Wankhede
They've played more games in
Yeah.
Wankhede in the last couple of years than India has played.
No, yeah, we're going to play England.
Much
at home
like
and
South Africa at
home and
Ahmedabad, right?
Ahmedabad, exactly.
Links.
We've got 2 away games coming up.
So yeah, so what do we do? No, you think we keep the same playing 11? You think Rinku instead of Abhishek? I'm just throwing it up. Given that, because
we have
to
fair
be
amount of
honest,
batting depth.
Abhishek looks a pale figure of himself even on the field. And we discussed this earlier in the tournament, right? I think at one of our dugout podcasts, we discussed this. I don't think before that point I had seen Abhishek drop a catch in the year and a half. Right? He's not a great fielder, but he's a good fielder. I definitely think so. I think his fielding is everything. It's a state of mind thing, right? I mean, and Ishan, who's
that level.
I would imagine so. It's a high stakes game, man. There is pressure involved. These are 25-year-old boys, yeah. I mean, yes, they are India's premium cricketers, but at the end of it, I do think stress plays a role in, anxiety plays a role.
So you think this is like we get to the IPL and he's back to being Abhishek Sharma? It's not just a form.
The stakes are not. It's not. I mean, so obviously he's the illness then compounds with a sense of little bit of a weakness coming through, and I think this has happened to enough players in the recent past, right? During COVID, post-COVID, when they came back, they were a weaker versions of themselves. They started mishitting a lot of aerial balls. Then that one thing leads to another, right? I feel that.
I think it's an interesting point you make, 25-year-old, because you've seen him. He recently did that interview with Gaurav Kapoor, and you were probably there filming that interview there.
Yeah.
So what was your thought about him as a boy? Because I remember the famous line that came out of it was the one where he was speaking about that Amritsari lassi that kulcha and lassi that he has. But you said he's a 25-year-old boy. So what did you pick from that interview?
Oh, he's a very smart guy from whatever I mean, that was my only interaction. I've interacted with him for those 1 hour of the shoot and 1 hour on either side, or maybe 45 minutes on either side. So I don't have a great because I've not spent any extended period of time with him, but I feel he's a very, very, and a lot of these guys at his level, at his age, in his guys like him, they feed off confidence, right? They feed off that's what they have is belief, right? At the end of it, it says it on their kit bags also, right? Believe, become. That's the SG slogan, right? So I think they do a lot of visualize. I mean, I'm generalizing. He could be an exception here, or he could be the rule. They do a lot of visualization. They put up pictures all over of them in great moments and stuff like that. There is a lot of closing out the noise in whichever way. So they look at only positives. So it's the state of mind is a fantastic thing, and it's only the older guys who start getting used to the highs and lows in the extreme. This is the first time Abhishek has had a solid low, right? He'll have one more and then he'll be fine, right? So because because that's what you need to do, right? As it says in the Wimbledon entrance, right? You need to take victory and defeat and treat them both as equals and equal enemies, right? So I think they all have to go through that. It's a rite of passage to become a great. So Abhishek has had a fantastic year and a half, 2 years. IPL 24-25. So summer of 24 to winter of 25, 18 months. He's been incredible, right? Let's not. I mean, at no level had you doubted his ability as a thing. Now he's
Unstoppable.
beginning to
Yeah.
doubt it. Now he's beginning to doubt it, right? So then when doubt seeps in, then it's a dangerous state of mind to be. So I think, and a lot of people have gone through this, self doubt, and you overcome it, right? Rohit Sharma has spoken about it very openly. He overcame it with 200 runs. That's when he believed, right? So you need that one thing to come out, because his 60 odd in the last match did not inspire anybody confidence. It was runs on the board with a good strike rate, but it was scratchy. This is a guy who's striking at 190 before this tournament, right? His career strike rate is down to 165 or something. Good, I'll just check.
But
So
even with that, right, there was a very interesting comment that I saw. As much as you said that he was scratchy, there was a comment by Indian Express. I think Venkata wrote an article where he said that he noticed that Abhishek Sharma stopped playing against the turn and instead waited for the balls and played, in the direction of the turn. And as a result, he did, took out unnecessary risks, and he was still able to bat with a 150, 160 strike rate as opposed to the 200 strike rate that we are used to seeing him. So I thought that was still sensible. But nevertheless, if you're looking for a change, there's also Vamsi on the group who's asking, why can't we get Kuldeep and Siraj? Same question as what you asked, because Siraj has done well in Wankhede, the opening game. I think he had a great spell, 3-wicket spell. But who do you get Siraj for? You have Bumrah, you have Arshdeep.
Yeah. Who do you drop?
Where would you? Where would?
Yeah.
Varun.
Good.
Varun's having a horrid tournament.
I
Yes,
am not
40 in every game, 3 wickets in against.
Three games. Last 3 games, he's gone for 40 runs. And
I think he's averaging 40
last 3
across
games?
the.
No, Zimbabwe, he
He's
wasn't.
averaging 10 plus.
It was less against Zimbabwe, but it's not good. Yeah.
His economy is
And also
10 plus.
the two teams we're going to be playing, England, South Africa, can both play spin. Like, they're not worried about it. South Africa in particular have Varun's number. They know exactly what to do against him. So I don't think it's the worst idea to drop him.
But again, are we reacting also? Because we've given people the long rope, and Varun is your number one white ball T20I bowler globally. So in such a scenario, are you wanting to react to two bad games that he's had over like a 20 game, 21 game?
No, it's 5 bad games.
But the problem, the problem is also when going up against guys who's had the bad games against. That's the worry, right? The South Africa game, I think his 4 overs, if assuming we get to the final and South Africa get to the final, I think his 4 overs are a write-off. I think South Africa are going to take him to the cleaners.
Sometimes, just because it happens once, I wouldn't think that it's going to happen again. Sure, they've played him well.
4 of Varun's worst 5 T20I innings are against South Africa.
Whoa, that's an
He
interesting
keeps getting hit by them. Yeah, he keeps getting hit by them. If they manage to figure him out somehow. Miller particularly, but yeah, a lot of them.
No, that makes it an interesting stat, actually.
Yeah. But I also agree with you.
I'm just bringing it up.
Of like giving people a long rope is a good idea, right? Chopping and changing at the last minute for a knockout, for a final. The guys who come in are under immense pressure to immediately make an impact. And the guys who get out are like, man, what the hell? I was good for 2 years. You're taking me out because 3 games are bad. So you lose trust everywhere. So I also agree from a mentality perspective, it's better to keep the team.
I agree with you. That we should go ahead with keep going with Abhishek. But what has Rinku done wrong?
I think it's just a team combination, right? Now that if you're getting somebody like Akshar Patel batting below, he's able to give you 3 overs, 4 overs, and he's also able to swing his bat.
Patel is the most underrated bowler we've had. Today also he was a bank. Right, he seems to be.
He was the lowest, right? 8 runs and over, 8.5. Everybody went about 10 and over.
Yeah, and he's bowling, not tough overs, but he's bowling them. He comes on the last over of the power play sometimes.
It's not easy, yeah.
It's not easy.
And he's also a bank against your left-hander matchup. So it's not like Akshar Patel can't bowl to left-handers. He's in fact He's able to get the drift in and bowl to left-hander. So Akshar Patel and he was your almost man of the final in the 2024 T20 World Cup final.
Yeah.
His
Without him, we
knock
don't
that
win
pulled
it.
India out of the woods.
Yeah.
So, but yes, it doesn't get talked about much because all we remember of Akshar Patel is that 24-run over that he gave in the 16th over to Klassen. That's all we remember with recency bias. But outside of that, I think Akshar Patel, I wouldn't want to drop him because you're going to get 4 overs. With Rinku, though he's not done anything really
So
wrong.
what happens in the current 11 is that our top 5 is not flexible.
So
Because Ishan comes in at
I'm
3,
confused
Tilak or
about.
you know,
I'm
so
confused
our
why
4 and
Tilak has such a long road
no, Tilak's been okay.
in this
Come on.
team.
Tilak's been
He's a good
Tilak's-
player, but like,
he
you
won
don't
us
think
what-
there's a
he
conversation
won
to
us
be
our
had
last
there?
trophy. He won us a last trophy effectively against Pakistan in the Asia Cup final.
Asia Cup.
And he's delivered.
Well,
We discussed this the other day. He's actually done decently well in this tournament. Pretty much every game has been
Yeah,
about
he's
25
decent,
or
yeah.
30 balls. Last one he just went 3 years up against Zimbabwe, and today also was decent. Yeah. So
No, but that's what I'm wondering, right? If you
Tilak,
make a change,
Tilak becomes
I'm on the
irreplaceable
board,
because
don't change anything.
Tilak
Tilak is
becomes
irreplaceable.
irreplaceable. Like given our choices, because who do you replace him with, right? Because what happens if you take Tilak out of our top 5, then you're moving in a Hardik or an Akshar into the top 5, right? Or a Dubey. So who are effectively 5, 6, and 7, or 6, 7, and 8 in our current scheme of things. So juggling that around, whereas if you remove an Abhishek, then that allows you to bump everybody up. I mean, it's the same logic with one guy in the top 5 going, replacing a
about
left-hander
Dubey?
with a left-hander. Dubey has been okay, man, and he is the safety 6th bowler, which they haven't used this game or the last game they did actually. But
He
today
said
they didn't use
safety
it.
is how much do you guys rate his bowling?
Not at all. But
I'm
who else
scared.
bowls?
Man. I'm scared whenever Dubey comes on to bowl. I'm feeling that it's going to be a 20-run over. And I remember at Chepauk, my only reaction was, why are you getting Dubey to bowl? Maybe you want to get confidence, but what if the Kolkata game is rained out? You're going to lose out on net run rate. But nevertheless, I think Surya Kumar Yadav is thinking, or the team management under Gambhir is
Options.
saying, okay, let's see if we can give him confidence to bowl the 20th over. Because I think whatever said and done, I know they're using this anti-dew equipment, spray, but there is dew. You can't eliminate the dew. The dew is going to be there. So Dubey did have an outing where he's bowled with a soap, and he's trying to see how good is he able to bowl. And he's bowling against a rampaging Bennett who's scoring runs. So sure, I don't like the look of Dubey coming and bowling. Maybe on slower wickets, Dubey with his off cutters or change of pace may offer an interesting bowling option. But on flat wickets under dew, I get the chills. I'm like, oh man, are we preparing?
If he was a left-hander, I would say he would have been a good bet, because effectively then he does what Sam Curran does, right? Bowls a bit of 120 kilometers, and the rest of it is
some kind of variation. No, because I've just been thinking about it. Even watching today's game, are like the 2 or 3. We always have 2 or 3 overs that feel a little less safe than they should be for an elite team. Where randomly a Hardik over in the 12th over, where you're like, I don't know, I'm not super comfortable with this right now, and I don't know what the solution to that is, because obviously you don't drop Hardik. Hardik's great; he's been fantastic with bat and ball, but I don't know what the solution is. It's not Dubey, it's definitely not Rinku, it's not Tilak. Like, I don't know who takes that 1 or 2 overs once in a while, like Ryan Bird does for Zimbabwe.
Well, the other option is Abhishek and Tilak, right? Who become
against South Africa. Just a small pause. As we are, 43 minutes into the conversation, we're having 198 people on our stream watching. Thank you for all the 198 who are watching. If you have any interesting comments, Karan has put a comment, and we're nearing 200, so we're waiting to get that magic number. I remember Steve Waugh being stranded on 199, so I'm trying to see what is it for us to get to that point. We are on 198. So Karan's question is, if India are playing final against South Africa, just play Kuldeep in place of Varun, given the stat that I think even Tarutra mentioned, that Varun's got hit more than 10 and over against South Africa. So I don't know what they've done to figure Varun out. Are they seeing him like a medium pacer with a certain type of a variation? They played him inside out. They played him at the back foot. I remember I was in Ahmedabad, and the way Travis played him was he played him completely off the back foot, had that extra time, and then tried to cut the ball. So it's very interesting on how South Africa have tried figuring out Varun Chakravarti. So that's probably an option. I don't know how the team management is thinking with Varun Chakravarti. If we're going to Ahmedabad, there's no if. I think we're going to Ahmedabad.
I think so too.
So-
England shouldn't be a obstacle here.
Okay, I'm just looking at the bilateral series we played against.
South Africa.
Let me see. Yeah, Varun Chakravarti was our best bowler there.
Oh, okay.
10
Or maybe it's
overs,
just
10 wickets of 15 overs in 4 games.
Do you know what his economy is? Can you see that? Or whatever we're looking at?
Yeah,
Well, a
looking
strike
at
rate
his-
of 9. That's a strike rate of 9. A wicket every 9 balls, which is
That's
like
awesome.
platinum gold. Yeah, platinum gold. Because Rashid Khan at 12 was your gold
15
standard.
overs,
This is platinum.
112 runs, and 10 wickets.
Okay,
I can
that's
tell
not
you
bad.
the
Yeah.
best bowling strike
7.5,
rate.
yeah.
Bowling strike
So I
rate
think
is
that
9.
I don't think that's
And
really a
then
problem.
economy-
Yeah,
because-
then it's then he's
Thanks,
clearly
thanks,
figured it
Nirav,
out.
for,
That was just a
No,
having
so
that-
so I the reason I'm saying I brought this up is not it. Okay, so those wickets were very different. Those wickets we were playing earlier in the year, there was no dew, and there were spinning tracks. So it wasn't
not the
it wasn't the flat wickets which we have got in Ahmedabad.
Right. And I think I'm now interested to write an article, because if we put the quality of wickets, for example, I give this whole point system where if you've got an opening batter, okay, you get 10 points, and you've got like a number 7 batter, you get 5 points. So the quality of your wickets versus the amount of runs in terms of the economy rate that you give. I'm now tempted to write an article saying what is India really required to do. Where are our batsmen and bowlers on an overall curve versus on some key metrics for batting, key metrics for bowling. So I suddenly just got reminded of that because.
What I think would be a very interesting study, which this is now we've just gone into random conversations about things that could be interesting. But what could be really interesting is which bowlers are good against batters that are technically their bad matchup. So let's take a batter who's good against, left arm spin, right? Which bowlers have beat those matchup metrics? And I think that's how you can tell which are good bowlers. And I think Varun generally does that. A batter who you expect would be good against him, he tends to get their wickets. But he's been thrown off a couple of times this World Cup, and it's not looked like an outlier. That's the bit where I'm getting confused.
It's because of the straight nature of lack of spin, right? He's not 200.
200, yes, 200.
Right.
Sehwag's
Yeah,
201.
Welcome to our 200th viewer. We hit a new high today.
Yeah, if you think you're the 200th viewer, please drop in a comment. We owe you a free beer.
Yeah.
And if you can adequately prove
if you can prove that you're the 200th, I think a beer is on you, and you will get that beer as soon as you land at the Ahmedabad airport.
Yeah.
So
in the Ahmedabad airport, you're going to get him a beer.
I'm going to get him a beer at the Ahmedabad
You
airport.
got to a dry state, you're like, I'm smuggling in a beer for you. That's how much we love you.
There's no such thing called a dry state in Ahmedabad. In Ahmedabad, you do get alcohol, is what I've been told by Shashank, because you just have to go to the
as an
hotel.
outsider, you do. As
an outsider, you have access to alcohol. I have never gone and got it, but the people who do, they say, why are you saying Ahmedabad is a dry state? So, but yes,
I spent
just
2 summer months for 3 years there, and I don't drink, so I stood in queues to get it for other people. Having said that, there are people
Gandhiji would be proud of you.
My teammates, my colleagues. But then also there was enough available generally, like people knew people, and you get army quotas, you get outstation long-term visitor quotas, you get all kinds of stuff.
From analyzing Varun Chakravarti, we've gone to analyzing Gujarat's alcohol policy. Wow.
How to circumvent Gujarat's alcohol
don't
policy.
enter and exit with alcohol. That's the only thing. You'll get it in there, finish it while you're in there.
Right. So here we are now. Now let's summarize our semi-final lineup. Is India, England, and Wankhede on Thursday, and New Zealand playing South Africa in Kolkata on Wednesday. Are any of you going for the games?
You are going for the
Mumbai semi-final.
Representative.
Are you sure you've got the right date now?
Yeah. Thursday, I'm
Show up
going
on
to
all
Mumbai.
day.
So I booked my flight on
Thursday,
Thursday
5th March.
morning. Yeah.
Thursday, 5th March. Just
Thursday, 5th
reconfirming
March is
date
when
and
my
date.
flight's out. Yeah.
Right.
So, but I haven't got my ticket yet. I've just got the flight ticket, and I'm hoping that on Book My Show I'll get access to one ticket. Let's see. Or I'll ask. I know important people like Nirav Ghosh, so I'll somehow manage a ticket.
At Wankhede, okay, good luck. No, but you do know people who know people. You just have to put it on your WhatsApp group and people show up for tickets.
Someone will get you one. Yeah.
So that's
Right.
where we are. So I think thanks to all of the 200 people, 200 or more people who joined us on the stream. Very happy to see you people help us get this landmark. 200 people is a great testament to the fact that we're speaking stuff that actually is making sense. That too rambling for 50 minutes. So that's it's a good feeling to see all of you people being on that journey with us through Twitter and through YouTube. So next up, we're going to, of course, now be doing this daily in the lead up to the games that are there. And of course, while I wouldn't be doing this on Thursday and Sunday, we will have Nirav, we will have Tarutra joining on the show live. And if possible, bandwidth permitting, I will join from the stadium to show how happy I am after India's won.
So you remember your track record with India and matches at Ahmedabad, right? Just reminding you.
Yeah, I mean,
On that happy note, thank you guys for joining us.
You know who to blame.
Given food for thought to Karthik for the next few days. He's questioning his decision to go to Ahmedabad, and while the two of us question our life choices. So thank you for watching, and cheers to India, who's through to the semi-finals of the 2026 T20 World Cup. Right.
Yeah, Gautam Gambhir is going to be proud today. Sanju finished on